Hello, welcome to Try Animes. This is another weekly roundup of anime figures, pre-orders from AmiAmi. This will be from the 25th of July to the 29th of July. We'll have a quick look at the top 10. So you got Pep-Up Parade, Tensol, Nendroid. So a couple of the more cheaper, obviously priced figures, which probably kind of makes sense with the way there's a huge amount of announcements that have popped up this week, with One Hobby on the 30th of July happening. So there's going to be a lot of announcements. I think some of them have some of the pre-orders already dropped this week and will be seen at One Hobby, and there'll be obviously a lot more coming up over the next couple of weeks as well. So the top 10 kind of, I can see why people are going for the more value-orientated figures, just for more wallet-friendly, I suppose, as they are probably waiting to see if there's any figures that are going to be announced that are going to be, obviously they want to add to their collection. So the top 10 looks pretty good, and Urza's obviously seems like a fan favourite in terms of the actual full-scale figures that you got up there. And Persona 5, Futaba Sakura makes sense as well. Persona 5 is also a big franchise. Getting Nendroid, Pep-Up Parade Nendroid, and then another not safe for work figure. Which was on the 28th of July. We'll just quickly scroll through the week to see if there's anything that's popped into stock that might be of interest. Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters GX Chaz, Princeton, Artifacts Chainsaw Man Makima. What else popped into stock? I think there was something else. Data Live Bullet Kurumi, Toshiga PH Blood Ruby Dress version by eStream, 46,000 yen. Anything else? Anime exclusive Iris Inori illustration. That was quite a nice looking figure as well. I thought I saw a freeing figure. Have I just gone past it without noticing? Here we go. B-Style Bleach Rangiku Matsumoto swimsuit version. I was very interested in getting this one. Might have to see if it comes down in price a bit, then I might possibly order it in the next couple of weeks or a month or so, if it's still available. Okay, there's a lot of figures. As you see, I've got a lot of tabs up here to go through. There's quite a lot of announcements that happened, so we'll get started straight away. Street Fighter Series Chun-Li 1/6 by Max Factory, 33,000 yen. I saw this back earlier in the year, one of the other figure announcements, Hobby Expos, and this I knew I had to pre-order this straight away, so I've got this one on pre-order. This is obviously a very nice looking Chun-Li figure. I've got the Pep-Up Parade up on my collection at the moment. I've not played the Street Fighter games, but like Chun-Li is just one of those characters that you sort of obviously love to waifu up really these days. And with Street Fighter 6 obviously that came out 2 months ago, there's a lot of people that are big hyped into Street Fighter. So yeah, this is a very nice looking figure. The shading on the legs look amazing. The base looks great. The outfit, obviously the shading that's on her outfit, her default outfit, looks great. I think personally is worth the 33,000 yen. It's 1/6 scale, so it's actually a semi good size. She'll be 27 centimeters tall, including in base. So yeah, it's just if you really like Chun-Li, then there's pretty much a perfect scale figure. That's obviously a lot more detailed compared to the old Chun-Li figures that came out years ago, which aren't going to be as much as detailed as they are. The standards have improved over time, so that's a nice figure to get. B-Style Sin, the 7 Deadly Sins Mammon bunny version on quarter scale. It's obviously a freeing figure bunny suit. I think you're buying it for the certain derriere that's on display, but yeah, it's from the 7 Deadly Sins. There's a couple of other ones that have been released prior, I think, to these two. So hopefully they do the entire lineup from the 7 Deadly Sins. It's an anime that I do need to watch. But yeah, this looks fine to me. I think 39,600 yen is pretty much where it seems like the more standard quarter scales are going to settle in at now. It's just sub 40k, which is I'm happy with, not being like 44,000 or beyond, like some other figures that I've obviously covered in past videos. But yeah, no, looks fine. Obviously, you got lots of hair. The posture looks fine, perfectly fine to me. So yeah, no, it's a good looking figure. I have nothing to complain about really, which is odd for a freeing figure. Katekutase Go Shujin Sama, illustration by Komodoshi Momozu 1/7 by Daiki Kyogu, 18,800 yen. This is a it's a lolly-esque figure with a certain aesthetic that some people will like. It's not up my alley. Probably a bit too much. What size is she? 1/6, 20 centimeters tall. Fine, I suppose. If you like that aesthetic, that sort of character, then it might be worth getting. Blue Archive Susanuki Shiroku swimsuit version on 7th by Good Smile for 11,980 yen. We're going to be seeing a lot of Blue Archive figures, I reckon. Similar to like Azure Lane, we've got loads of Azure Lane that have been released, and obviously a lot more that are probably still to be announced. So I think we're going to see the same thing with Blue Archive. So it'll be a series to keep an eye on if you've played the game. This looks fine. I think the price probably suits it as well. And it's by Good Smile, so the quality is going to be there. Nothing special to say really about it. I like the fact you get the bag, accessories, and the jacket overhanging it. It's a bit better than just having her with just a standard swimsuit and standing there. So it gives you a bit more character to the figure. We've got a couple from Animinster. Wine Waiter Girl Cynthia 1/6 scale. This one, so this is obviously 6,640 yen. It's a very good price. Hopefully the quality's like the way we see it. If the final product's the way we see it in these final pictures, then Animinster might be the new sort of go-to for getting scale figures, but at a really cheap price. Obviously you're not going to have like really good shading. Obviously there's no shading on the hair with this character, but as long as the overall figure appeals to your collections or what sort of your interests are, then it might be worth keeping an eye out on this manufacturer in the future, seeing what other OCs they come up with. So yeah, this is quite a good looking figure. Base looks obviously quite bland, but yeah, at least you get some extra accessories with her holding a wine glass. Wine Waiter Girl, so that makes sense. The other two, so we've got this one, Disciplinary Committee Member. Obviously it's a schoolgirl disciplinary committee member figure, so that's perfectly fine. 7,200 yen. Obviously in a very alluring and attractive pose, being exposed. And I'm pretty sure that the front chest area is going to be cast off. It does not mention it, so it doesn't mention anything about that. But I think they do use real fabrics, so I think the legs are actual tights. Like on the Wine Waiter Girl, I think the lingerie is actual fabric, at least in the chest area, most likely is. Based on what sort of the texture you can see, it's like a what was it? Well, it just seems like more like a fabric than an actual plastic mold to me. So, and I think there's something that they're just trying to make themselves a bit more unique. So if they have done that, I think this is probably plastic cast off though, most likely in the chest area, just to make it easier for obviously mounting and unmounting the clothes. But yeah, the tights look like they're fabric. The haziness going on there. That looks fine, and I think you can't moan for that price as well, especially if it's up your alley. And Vice City Female Sheriff. Again, another one of those figures for 6,640 yen. This one won't be cast off, but because the chest area is fabric, I think you could move those out of the way and obviously get the other alternative look you might be after. And these tights as well, I think, are fabric, actual stockings. So another good looking figure, another OC that might be up your alley, especially if you don't want to break the bank. Pop-up Parade Goblin Slayer 2 Goblin Slayer L size complete figure by Good Smile. So this was 7,480 yen. Good Smile I enjoy their L size because they just seem to be more detailed than the normal Pop-up Parades. And the scale of this one is 24 centimeters, so it's probably 1/7 scale ish. So without the 1/7 scale price, you know, being over 2 times the price value really. But with Pop Up Parade, they have the license agreements to do these figures, and considering it's just the bit scaled up version of the original Pop Up Parade of Goblin Slayer, but scaled up, and then they've added more detailing. Yeah, it's perfectly fine. I'd be quite happy to get this if you like Goblin Slayer. Figma Konosuba 3 Megamin by Max Factory. I don't really cover Figmas that much normally, but Megamin's obviously one of those sort of favourite characters that people love to get. So for 7,300 yen, obviously benefit of Figma, you get a lot of accessories, faceplate alternatives, accessory pieces and effect parts, and the fact that you can have her in different postures depending on what your favourite posture of her is, and obviously you get a cute little cat. So there's nothing to sort of laugh at here or anything. I think it's great if you like your Figmas and if you do like Megamin. Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal Tori Meadows on 7th scale figure by Amakuni for 19,800 yen. Personally, price is probably a bit too high, but if you're into Yu-Gi-Oh! And you've watched the Zexal anime series, I haven't. I didn't get past GX, so I don't really, that's about it. So yeah, but yeah, if this is a character you like, then there's a Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal available for pre-order. Dai Kashoku Jidai Felina WoW on 7th scale by Amakuni. It's another one of those figures that is rather cultured, and is, I think, cast off as well. So it's just the dress comes off, which then exposes obviously the chest. And this one comes with some bonuses as well. So you get bonus postcard set for 19,800 yen. Looks perfectly fine, I think. Overall, I think the style looks pretty good. I do like the outfit overall, and obviously the fact that she's got the steamed dumpling. I can't remember what these are called, but you know, she's acting like kind of like a waiter delivering thing, and the little growl with the hand sign, obviously making her a bit more cute and aggressive. It's very nice. Was that the correct one? Yes. To Loveru, Darkness Lala Stalin Deviluk nurse costume. This, I think, shows up in the anime if I remember correctly, where she does have a nurse costume. It's by Union Creative, 21,100 yen. It's a rather nice looking figure. We've got quite a lot of To Loveru figures, but it's always nice to have more if you do really like the series overall and the anime. Then you might want to obviously get all the girls. I think it's a bit more wallet friendly than getting all the freeing figures of all the girls from the lineup. But yeah, no, it looks perfectly fine to me. I think they've done a good recreation of it in 3D form. Perfectly fine to me, no complaints. Kidakal Nekopara chocolate and vanilla maid swimsuit versions. So this is a set where you get both of them, 45,100 yen. I think this is a re-image update because I think they've been up for pre-order before. So this is just a re-update of the re-upload of the pre-order, but only as a paired option, which is fine. And then they're giving away some of these acrylic stand things as well, some as a bonus, which I didn't see the point of. That's just a waste, to be honest. But whatever, to be honest. But yeah, if you're big into your Nekopara series, then you've got a couple of the girls or the main two girls basically, in swimsuits. Or I prefer the maid outfit overall, but 45,000 yen, I can't see a problem with these actually overall. And that's expected August, or sales period is still August. Release early September. Swimsuit Girl Rofera, illustrated by EBK in 1/7 figure. So I think this is another by Ayatoys, 10,150 yen. It's a swimsuit girl figure with a decent amount of the decals look pretty good with the not shading. I guess it'll be the decal that's been printed on the buttocks area, that's going from blue to a silver and the pink. So that's quite good overall. Yeah, here we go. So that looks quite nice. The decal or paint job, however they're applying this effect. I would probably say it'll probably be a decal mode. It might be painting. But yeah, no, these look fine overall. Quite good looking toys. We'll have to keep an eye out for these Chinese manufacturers because they're offering obviously good value for 1/7 scale as well. It's just they're pretty simple concepts, I think, because they don't want to push out the too much risk in terms of manufacture cost and difficulty of the figure overall. A lot of these sort of Chinese buttons have just done these sort of vertical stand-up figures with like simple designs on them, which is fine. There's a bit more wallet friendly for collectors. B-Style Azure Lane Bunny Renault, 1/4 scale by Union Creative. So this is obviously another 1/4 scale B-Style, which looks quite good overall. I do really like the aesthetic with these. It's always best when they have accessories like her sitting on the seat with her shoes off. It makes her just look more dynamic and catches your eye a lot more, in my opinion. And I do love this aesthetic. We'll have to see if it's going to be cast off in the future. They don't mention anything about that. But yeah, comes with obviously a very nice display base, and the figure looks great overall. And I like the shading. Just everything looks great actually with this figure. 44,000 yen, worth it, I'd say. Near Automata version 1.1A statue 2B, type B no goggles version, and then there is a goggles version. So they're both 10,780 yen. So basically they're identical, just one has the goggles and the other one does not. So Square Enix, they look fine, but they'll probably be cheaper after release, so maybe I'll hold out for those. These aren't ones that Near Automata's obviously 2B a lot of people like, but I think they prefer the actual proper scale figures rather than again Square Enix quality. Fruits full suit or full cute are Sushi no Taiju no Kajitsu no Tomi Lemon Bunny version 1/4 scale by Bindings. The first binding figure I've seen on AmiAmi that's up for new, it's not like pre-owned. So this is interesting. But yeah, it's a B-style bunny suit figure girl, which is cast off completely, which is fine for me. I do like the binding, but hopefully we see more binding on AmiAmi because I prefer to shop through AmiAmi. It's my main where I mainly get my pre-orders from. But yeah, no, looks fine overall. It's definitely a much more unique take on the B-style aesthetic on the bunny suit girls. And I do like the outfit. The yellows I think complements the character perfectly fine, and the green ribbons gives you a good amount, and the green detailing on the side frills definitely give you enough extra volume basically in there to keep it interesting. So yeah, definitely looks really good. 44,000 yen, nothing to run at really. I think that's going to be again standard price for these sorts of figures. Yeah, looks great overall. Figma Tsukihime, a piece of blue glass moon, Aku Brun stud by Max Factory, 8,130 yen. Looks fine. You get a couple of also accessories and effect parts, and some cat ears, and there's some additional hand options. Looks fine for Figma. I'm not familiar with the character. It's another exciting B-style. B-style Sin, the 7 Deadly Sins Belial Bunny version, 1/4 scale. Obviously this one's a lot more unique in terms of the fact that you've got the opening down the center of the suit out of the outfit. So this looks, and the pose is obviously a lot more dynamic compared to other standard freeing figures. So this is definitely much more unique. I really do like this with the leg vertically up, which means you'll take a bit less space as well on your shelf. Without being the full height of a freeing just standing bunny as well. So this is, I really do, this is one of my favourite figures of this week. I'll probably say this is my favourite figure of the week, and hopefully might be cast off. We don't know, they haven't announced anything. It looks like it might be cast off. We'll have to see. 39,600 yen. I have pre-ordered her. Definitely worth getting. I'm tempted to get obviously the other 7 Deadly Sins one, Mona, but this one's the one. As soon as I saw this, I knew I had to definitely get this one. Kada Cole, Fate Stay Night, Heavens Field, Saber Altar, Baby Doll version on 7th. There's obviously a lot of Fate Stay Night figures of Saber, so this is just another one of her on a bed sheet with a cute plushy toy. a doggo, and a sword. Looks fine. I think detailing wise there's a bit lacking now, so price doesn't reflect it, unfortunately. It will have the Kadikawa. It'll have the Kadikawa. Like obviously level of like finish, but and quality, but I don't think it's just a bit too bland, really. Obviously with the very pale skin and very white base and cream coloured shirt outfit, and then obviously this black outfit, so it's not my style, but there we go. Fake lead in a linear Prisma Phantasm von Eisenberg wedding bikini version. I don't like this, where they do this wedding bikini hybrid concept. You should just do one or the other, not this combination of wedding. They don't suit, unfortunately. But they've done one. Kadikawa have done a figure of this concept. I think they'd have done them before in the past. So I don't know how well they've actually sold and shifted, but it's just, yeah, it's fine. Tenatol Bulchi the Rock Hitotori Goto complete figure. Tenatol obviously do these sort of basic figures, like prize level figures, I guess you could say, prize figure qualities. But yeah, no, it looks perfectly fine. Bulchi the Rock is obviously a slice of life kind of anime. People like it a lot, and this is a way to get a figure of her without breaking the bank. 5,420 yen. Yep, no, it looks fine, and I think you're getting a bit more for this one, this by three, before you, than a lot of other ones. Obviously, with the fact that she's got a guitar and this amp as well, so it definitely reflects of what the character is and why she does obviously music. Overlord Shaltir Enri Gasho version 1/6 scale figure by K Tendo. So I think this is the second Shaltir figure I've seen overall. That's about it, so there's not really been that many other Shaltir figures. This one looks fine. I think they've got the skin tone of her correct from the anime compared to the other Shaltir one I've seen in like a bikini wedding outfit with albedo, which I think is a bit hasn't got this like pinkish hue to her, which this looks more as she appears in the anime. Looks quite good overall. We'll have to see how it is when it actually gets released. Probably wouldn't be something I would purchase yet, because this K-Tendo, not familiar with the manufacturer, so we'll have to see how it ends up. But it looks fine overall. No major complaints. There's a good amount of detailing in the kimono, and there's a pattern that's on the kimono as well. Looks actually quite good overall, but it's just whether you want to spend 27,720 yen on Shaltir. Anime, that word, heavy metal dark fantasy K Han 1/6 scale. I think this is I can't remember if it's a re-release or something, because I thought this was done already. I've seen it on MFC, but I might have just not looked to confirm the dates of release. But yeah, this is obviously from that anime series on Netflix. Quite good anime series overall, really, and they're doing a figure of it. It's by Dai Molto Bene. Never heard of the manufacturer, so don't know. But yeah, no, it looks good. Looks fine overall, I think, and for the price, it's fine. There's a good amount of detailing in the hair, which I think reflects how she is in the anime quite accurately. Nendroid TV anime My Dress Up Darling Shizuku Kurodu. Obviously this is going to be one that a lot of people are going to want to buy, since Marin's obviously one of their favourite, is one of a lot of people's favourite waifus, and obviously you can get her with the other Marin and do this sort of thing, so it's definitely worth getting if you've got the other Marin on pre-order. A good smile, it's perfect, it's an Nendroid. Another Nendroid that I think a lot of people get, the Guilty Gear Strive Bridget, 6,630 yen. Yep, it looks great. I think nothing's shouting out to me of any problems with it, so it's an Nendroid, and I think a lot of people will enjoy this figure. Pop-Up Parade Hunter x Hunter Gone Freaks complete figure, 4,080 yen. Good to see some Hunter x Hunter figures, and obviously Pop-Up Parade It's fine. Yeah, probably can be great quality. So it could be hit, could be missed, but I think they've been fine recently, so got no issues. And then you got Killua as well, 4,080 yen. So if you want to get the pair, won't cost you a lot of money really. And hopefully they do L series of these if they sell well, which will be more detailed and obviously only a bit more expensive. The effect parts actually of Killua look quite good. That's the lightning on that looks really good overall. So no, I'm happy with that. Persona 5 Futaba Sakura 1/7 scale. Obviously, this is the one that people that who have played Persona 5. She's one of their favourite characters from Persona 5. So yeah, the fact that you can obviously have her, they give you some different arm options. It looks like, which is good. So you kind of get like 2 figures for one. By Fat Company for 13,940 yen. I do like it when they give you these sort of options, so you can have her in 2 different sort of display modes. If you want the cat, make her a bit more innocent, I guess you could say. So very good overall, and the price is perfectly fine. I've got no problems with it. The paint job looks great overall, and it's by Fat Company, so I've got no complaints. It's one of the big players in the figure market. Kaiju Curl Sword Art Online Asuna Negligee version, event limited colour. So I think this has been released already, but this is a different colour scheme version of it, of Asuna, in the lingerie, which I think looks better in this colour scheme actually, with the whites and blacks. There's a lot more red in it, I think, whites and red, sorry. So I definitely like this colourway compared to the other one. For 23,100 yen. Yep, fine, I think, for a 1/7 scale figure. And you're getting this sort of base, which obviously is moulded plastic. It's not going to be velvet or anything like that, but it's fine. Yeah, nothing to rant at there. Dai Kashoku Jidai Yusei 1/6 scale by Amakuni for 26,400 yen. This is another one of those figures that I believe is cast offable. Or it's just one of those sort of more alluring. It is cast offable, but it's one of those figures that is obviously much more alluring, and you would be purchasing it for a certain, obviously for the certain aesthetics that you're getting from it. I think quality looks fine. Amikuni have done these sorts of things before. The hair looks pretty good overall, actually. Oh, that's the wrong way. So I do like the hair. Sculpt as well looks great, and the fact she's tanned, obviously, I think sells it to a lot of people as well. And I don't know if there's tan lines when she's cast off. You can't quite see with the lighting on there, so I don't know if there's tan lines there. But yeah, no, it looks quite good overall. Definitely something worth picking up if that's the sort of figure you're interested in. Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba by Belfine for 32,530 yen. It looks like they're trying to do an E-stream and obviously do this grand effect parts style figures from Demon Slayer. Looks great overall, and I think the price probably is justified for this figure because the water effects do look great. I have no problems with it as long as they all appear like that in the final product. 1/8 is a bit small, but obviously he's going to be quite enlarged because of the effect part base. And there is a standard version of him without all the extra flurry for 19,440 yen. If you don't want the DX version, it's a bit more wallet friendly, depends on your aesthetic. His personal paint job looks great. I love the red shading that they've got going on there, and the pattern on his kimono looks great. So I think overall quality's fine and great. Ayaksu Triangle Matsuri Kazamaki 1/7 scale by Furyu. I'm not familiar with this figure or this anime. But as a schoolgirl with some sort of tattoo on the belly, looks fine, I think, overall. Yeah, it just looks fine. Just obviously got some sort of lolly. 16,930 yen. It's fine. Nothing out of the ordinary really. It's by Furyu. They might make too many, from what I've heard. They generally do, and then so the price might get cheaper, so maybe wait on it. Toshi Project Tsuruno Summer Frost version by Solarian, 19,800 yen. It's obviously giving off, generally the figures that have these sort of sweet or style bases or go for a certain aesthetic Anything food related, generally, obviously, a lot of people like. It's just more unique than just standing on a standard round base. So I think this is really good overall. Paint, the shading looks great, especially on the hair. The blue to white shading they've got going on is really good. And the crystal effect parts behind it look good overall as well. It's like a fairy wings or something. And then I think it gives you this sort of summer vibes and wanting to have ice cream during the summer. So yeah, looks really good overall. Heavens Burn Red Tama Kunimi 1/7 scale by Furyu. It's another Furyu figure. This one I think is a bit too much priced really. 22,200 yen. Not familiar with the anime figure. I think the figure overall looks fine, but I think the way that she's obviously posing necessitates this support rod, which ruins the figure a bit. Sword looks great. That sort of blue to fiery molten effect looks really good. I think if they can do that in other figures, but I guess she has that similar sort of sword in the anime, so it kind of makes sense. But yeah, no, it looks fine, but I think it's just too expensive. Musume Pretty Derby outrunning the encroaching heat. Kisana Black version, 1/7 by Kodabukiya, 18,400 yen. There's been quite a few Unamusume figures, so this is just another one in a different outfit. Looks fine. The outfit actually looks really good overall. I think the black, golds and reds are good complementary colours, so they do complement each other really well, black, red and gold. So yeah, it's definitely not a good looking figure. 18,480 yen. There you go, if you like an Musume. TV anime Shikimori, Not Just a Cutie. I have watched the anime is really good. So it is by Miyuki, 20,600 yen. Yeah, though this is the anime I loved a lot as well. Hopefully we get a couple more figures of her, but I don't know how well received it was overall, like commercially. So if you really enjoy the anime, it might be worth just picking her up anyways, because we don't know if we're going to see many other figures of her in the future. And it's by Miyuki, so they managed to get the licensing for her, unlike the big ones like Pop-Up Parade or anything like that. So yeah, this might be one just to shotgun and buy if you really love the anime. Chilsu original character Mina swimsuit version 1/7 by Ensu Toys, 16,890 yen. This is actually in terms of swimsuit figures, I like the look of this, with the fact that she's obviously holding up her shirt with her mouth. Is definitely a bit more unique, and gives a certain appeal that makes it a lot more alluring to a lot of people. And the hair looks great. This blue and white shading that they've got going on here. I'm a sucker for characters with blue hair, I think, overall, really. So yeah, no, this looks really good. Creases that they got obviously in the rear end. It's not overly detailed, but yeah, they've got creases in the shirt as well. Mould in there perfectly fine. Yep, and I think 16,090 yen, about right for this figure. Fairy Tail Urza Scarlet Seduction Armor Special Finish Version Complete Figure by Union Creative. I can definitely see why people want to get this. This is obviously Union Creative with Come On Boy on the sword. This will be one I think a lot of people will be picking up and pre-ordering. No one is obviously in the top 10. I'll see if she can hold a spot for the top 10 next week. But yeah, no, definitely good looking. I love the hair, the shading. This really looks like her hair in the anime. Really good, and the armor plating looks really good. Something I'm very tempted to pre-order as well, but I think I've got something else in July that's pretty expensive. I might just buy the bullet and pre-order her anyways. 29,024 yen, definitely worth it. And by Union Creative, so they're pretty good quality anyways. And hopefully it might be cast off if we find out in the future. We'll only find out when on release, really. Pop-Up Parade Hololive Production Watson Amelie complete figure version, 4,670 yen. It's from an anime series I've not watched, but it's Pop-Up Parade, so they're always going to be covering a lot more of the smaller anime series that aren't huge. So this is good. So if you've enjoyed the anime, you can at least pick up a figure of her for not a lot of money. And Pop-Up Parade Tengen Toppo Gurren Lagann XL size version, 29,750 yen. So this is, I think, a lot of people obviously Gurren Lagann is an iconic anime series, and obviously so I think a lot of people definitely want to get this, just because it's Gurren Lagann. It's wonderful. February 2024. And what's the scale of this? So normally you'd want him to have this with Simon. So if you manage to get hold of Simon, so then you can display them together, and definitely worth it. This stands at 40 centimeters tall, so very large for a figure. So I think actually taller than a lot of my freeing, or probably as tall as some of my freeing figures. So, but yeah, it's Pop Parade, so it's not going to have the best paint job, but I think this might be one of the only times you're going to be able to get a Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann figure out in the wild. Really, that's not going to be a resin statue. And those obviously horrendously more expensive than this. So 29,750 yen. I think a lot of people will be picking this up, especially from 35,000 yen. Got a bit of a discount. And here we go, Pop-Up Parade, Gurren Lagann, Simon, so you can pre-order them both together. So that'll only set you back 35,000 prior to obviously postage. Obviously with the size of this character, this figure, the postage can be quite a lot, I reckon. He's obviously got a very wide stance as well in his feet. So even though he's 40 centimeters tall, if he's 40 centimeters tall, he's probably 20 centimeters in width, 20 to 25 centimeters in width. So very large figure. Simon looks fine. It's Pop-Up Parade figure. I'm not expecting anything out, to be blown away by the quality. But yeah, definitely worth picking up the pair if you're massive into Gurren Lagann. Sword Art Online Stations War of Underworld Asuna Stasia, the Goddess of Creation version by Emon Toys. I do like this outfit of Asuna. I think my preferred is her in this sort of outfit, or her in a default outfit from normal Sword Art Online series. So yeah, this looks really good. I think I do like the silver, and the armor pieces look quite good as well, with the sort of shiny, obviously satin feel or glossy aesthetic going on in the armor pieces. Hair sculpt is obviously all over the place and looks good overall. Face might be a bit off. I think that might be the only thing that's detracting me from the figure overall. The overall figure looks great. I think it's just the face might be depends if you're a sucker for, if the face is one of those things that you concentrate on, then it might be worth just skipping this figure. Depends on, it's down to the eye of the beholder really. Garo Daishuku Hold Ayaka-chan 1/6 scale by Bishop Swanondo. It's a cute cat girl figure, lolly-esque figure, holding the thing, looks fine. 16,000 yen, or 17,000 yen. Fine, I think. Nothing outrageous. Maybe a bit too pricey, but there we go. Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. So this Bunny Girl Senpai by Spirit Tail. It's for 32,000 yen. So this is obviously a bit pricey, but I think you're buying her for A, because it's Bunny Girl Senpai, and B, because the base looks amazing. I think I saw this over a year ago now. The concept of her, and I think a lot of people did want to pick up. I think this is just a release. Oh no, it's February 2024. Okay, so this might be an actual pre-order, but I think a lot of people might be picking this up anyways, because it's Bunny Girl Senpai, and the base looks really good. It's her in the challenge dress, so yeah, I think price-wise looks fine. The clouds look like they're actually flowing across water, and the water effects look really good as well. So yeah, it's a great quality figure, I think. So hopefully Spirit Tail can pull it off. My Hero Academia Himiko Toga villain. Obviously this is another one of those ones that a lot of people like Toga, and the base just shows her her mental state as a character, and the facial expression looks great. So this is a great figure if you love Toga. And 27,500 yen, I think that's a steal for what you're getting. So definitely worth picking up if you want to get this Toga figure. She'll stand at 20 centimeters tall, including the base. So size approximately 118 centimeters including base. I don't know how she gets shorter including base. I don't know. It's probably some sort of mismatch. But yeah, no, the figure looks great overall. It's spot on Toga. I think that you couldn't really get much better than Hulk, the character being represented as that, than this really. Everything looks great. The painting of what's on the base, the cluttering looks really good. Yeah, it's a great figure. Azure Lane Sirius White Rose 1/7 scale by Wave. So it's another Azure Lane figure. Obviously quite a lot of these coming out. She looks fine. Obviously you've got to have a representation of the fact that she's a ship, and they will come back somewhere, so it's just going to be her sitting on the turret. She looks quite good overall. It's Azure Lane, so there's a certain appeal that they have. Obviously for that's for 230 yen, November 2023. Yeah, if you like Sirius, then there's a figure for you by Wave. Last but not least, the Idol Master Cinderella Girl Chiso Kurosaki 1+1/7. So this one I think I covered in last week's one actually. But yeah, no, this looks really good overall. I think this is an image update really. But yeah, this looks great. As I said, I don't know what the differences are, but I love the aesthetic here with the sort of red, blue and white. The outfit looks great, and this extra sort of skirt going on, the underlaid shading. So if you want the sort of Cinderella-esque, you know, fantasy girl aesthetic, then this I think is right up your alley. You've got obviously the garters, which are just to add that little bit of sex appeal for the figure. So yeah, and the facial expression along with the hand gesture looks good, really good overall. Yes, definitely a good looking figure. I think worth every penny as well. Well, that wraps up this week's anime figure releases. I will try and do a One Hobby roundup as well. One Hobby 2023 for the 30th of July. That'll come up in a few days. So I'll just have to try and fit that in and edit that up at some point. But hopefully you've enjoyed this video, and I shall catch you in the next video.